Welcome tonight to every one of you that are joining. We are on our fourth week of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and a part of this Leaders Edge group. So we just want to welcome you tonight. And I am so glad that you've chosen, sorry about my dog in the background, to invest the next 30 minutes into your growth as a leader. Whether you're here live or catching the replay, you are in the right place because leadership isn't a title and it's not a gift. It's a skill that can be learned, practiced, and mastered. Well, my name is Becky Taylor, and I am on the West Coast in Washington State. And I was introduced to this amazing industry and this company 10 years ago. Right in October, 10 years ago, my life was forever changed. And being a business professional in 22 years, now I've been 22 years as a real estate professional and a successful real estate professional, I did find myself 10 years ago very burnt out and I wasn't well. Nobody would have known that, but I had that secret chronic exhaustion, chronic insomnia, and I wasn't doing very well 10 years ago. But when I saw that ABC primetime, my jaw hit the floor, and I'm like, this is something that's going to change my life. I just knew it. And then I thought, I'm not going to be able to keep this from anyone. So I dove in with both feet, shared my heart out, ran with my hair on fire. And I am very blessed to be an executive leader here at LifeVantage. And was invited to be a part of a group of 15 people, 15 other people a couple months ago. And we came together and learned a lot. It was an amazing, amazing 3 days as we bonded together. You see these little numbers around all of us, and collectively in that room, this intimate group of people, there were 202 years of experience with LifeVantage. Imagine that. That's a lot of time invested in all these leaders. These are all fellow executive leaders. And over 571, almost $572 million of volume generated in these people and their teams, with over $30 million of earnings between all of us together. What that means is that we've just loved a lot of people and that we have worked hard to raise up other fellow leaders. And our mission at the Leaders Edge is to raise up confident, effective leaders by coaching the principles of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. We will equip leaders with the skills to grow personally. And remember, it's a skill that you learn. We will lead with integrity and multiply your influence. Together, we are desiring to develop a new wave of leaders to join the League of Leaders at LifeVantage. These leaders will create a lasting impact, inspire others, and move our mission forward. And here's how time's going to flow tonight. We're going to stay very focused. We're going to keep this about 30 minutes long. You're going to walk away with a clear principle that you can immediately apply to your leadership in life, maybe even more than one principle. Tonight, our special speaker, is going to keep it simple, practical, and duplicatable so that you can teach others. And remember, these skills are about sharpening your saw, growing yourself so you can grow others. And we've put together these standards and core values. These are things that leaders do and how you are going to get the most out of these next few weeks together. Show up consistently. Growth comes from commitment. And if there's times life happens that you can't be on the call, we are blessed to be able to record these calls and we put them inside the group so you can go watch them. I literally watched the last 2 weeks over again twice. That's how valuable they were to me. I watched them again and again and got a little more out of them each time. So go back and rewatch them even. Engage fully. Keep your cameras on, your hearts open. Be ready to learn. Use the chat between each other, and utilize the Facebook group. It's not just for those of us that began this group to to pop into and grow. If you see a quote that is something that just really inspired you, share it with us, share it with others. You are a leader. If you're on this call or if you're on the recording, you're a leader. You're here. So we would welcome you to join in posting your inspirations inside the group. Apply what you learn. Knowledge without action does not transform. So that's a big part about this is be sure and apply. Let's take good notes and encourage others. Leaders lift others while they climb. And so it's just such a great honor for me tonight to introduce to you our guest that we heard a little bit from last week as she opened up the call, Michelle Scaff. She is an executive consultant in this company. She is a wife, proud mom, and a Gigi to that little adorable granddaughter of hers. And as Kazi so, I would just say eloquently said about Michelle, she is a slayer of corporate America, very successful in corporate America, but yet 16 years ago, she became one of the original beginning people that joined LifeVantage. And as Kazi also said, I have to use her words because it was so good. She is the definition of lightning striking twice, as she said last week. She was, because she was so successful in her first corporate career and caused that company to grow to great heights. And then she joined our company 16 years ago, became one of the originals, grew very fast, and became one of the leaders of our company early on. And here she is still today, now a leader of leaders. And, you know, I am so blessed to have gotten to know Michelle just over these last couple months and really got to know her face to face as we hung out together over this weekend. And one thing I love is that I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. And being in a room with Michelle, you're certainly not the smartest person. I'm not, because I'm in a room with Michelle, who is somebody that can pull me into my future and I can grow from. She indeed is a leader of leaders. And you know what else I found out about Michelle? I just get chills, actually. I want to get a little weepy. She is a friend to everyone. If you meet Michelle, she's like you've just known her your whole life. She just literally pours her heart out and gives you her whole heart. And you're like, can I just be your best friend, please? Because I just love you so much. So to say is to know Michelle is to absolutely love Michelle. And I am so blessed to be able to hear her train tonight. Michelle, with that, I'm handing it over to
I
you.
don't know what to
Invite my
say.
dear friend.
You made me cry. You touched my heart. So thank you so much for that. I just have to say, League of Leaders was one of the most amazing things in my 16 years with LifeVantage, and I'm so grateful to be in that room with the other leaders, and especially Becky with you, because your passionate heart, just the commitments you make every single day to lead in this company and how you inspire others. I just you're my hero, and I had so much fun listening to you and learning from you. And you always lead with such grace and calm, which is so not me. So anyway, I am also grateful for my family and for LifeVantage. I did learn about LifeVantage 16 years ago. My background was in the corporate world. I was blessed in that career when I lived in New York to be in the right place at the right time. And it was life changing. It was this, climbing that ladder, getting at the top. And I literally was making a ton of money, but I went to work one day and the president sold his company. And I decided to leave, never do that again. I realized I was building someone else's dream. And that's why probably 20 some years later, someone that knew me then reached out and said, here it is again, your right place, right time opportunity. I never thought lightning would strike twice, but it did. And the moment I finally opened my eyes and my ears, it took me a while to trust and listen. My life changed forever. And I'm so incredibly grateful to be here tonight and hope to have the opportunity to change your life as we talk about leadership at a time in the world when we really need leaders, and we especially need heart-centered leaders more than ever. And LifeVantage also needs each of us and deserves our leadership more than ever to get this company into growth and momentum. We've got a great last quarter, but I just want to take a moment and invite each of you to ask yourself, How are you honoring this gift? Because what we have deserves each of us to step into the leader that we are meant to be. And that's really why we're here tonight. I'm so grateful for LifeVantage because this gift has changed my life and I know I can do more. And teaching on this habit is giving me the skills to actually be more effective. So let's just go back. The first week was the amazing Andrea Ebert. She talked about habit one. Each of these habits build on each other. It's about being proactive in your business and having the power to choose in the middle of our busy lives. This habit says that I'm the captain of my ship. Every habit depends on our ability to be proactive rather than reactive. I tend to be more reactive, to make things happen rather than wait for them to happen. So you are the captain of your ship, and that is the first one. I don't know why I'm having trouble advancing these slides. Last week was the incredible Cassie Teal, who poured kerosene on the fire, teaching about habit number 2, which is all about leadership and vision. Begin with the end in mind, is having a clear understanding of your destination and how to put your mission into motion. Habit number 2 is designing your legacy and leading with vision. I'm going to try this. Nope, not working. All right. And next is habit. Am I on habit number 3? Yes, thank you. Today we're going to dive into habit number 3, which is to put first things first, which is all about protecting our time for what is most important. It's the principle of navigating with discipline and focus, but most importantly with a plan. So habit 1 says you're in charge. Habit 2 is the vision so that you aim in the right direction. And habit 3 is the day-to-day, moment-to-moment, doing the do that takes you to your vision and your mission. So habit 3 is all about focus, protecting time every week for what is most important, honoring those commitments with a plan. And I have to say, the common paradigm is I don't have enough time, I'm too busy, I get stuck there. Does anybody else get stuck there? But the effective paradigm is focus on your priorities and then plan every week before the week begins so you can stay true to your choices. Stephen Covey says the single practice to balance your life and increase your productivity would be to plan your week each week before it begins. And this is my new habit. Thank you, Stephen Covey. Oops, I hear. Okay, so let's get real though. Most of us on this call are women, and even the men. We're busy, right? Our life, we have a million jobs, a million roles. So I just wanted to have you take a moment, maybe put it in the chat, and write down a few of the roles that you have, because we're juggling, whether it's the kitchen and cooking or the yard and what or projects that come up. I always find that, our time, we get interrupted a lot. And so managing your time is all the more challenging. So this is why this habit's so important. Covey says that the key is not to prioritize what is on your schedule, which I was in the habit of doing, but to schedule your priorities. So how well do you schedule your priorities? Personally, I fly by the seat of my pants, and that's why this habit is something that's so important for me to master. So I have started to schedule my priorities first, but I'm grateful for this graph. This is the time management matrix. It has become my favorite tool because it has helped me see how I spend and waste my time. So let's look at this matrix. It is a tool to help you plan your time and decide what's most important. So as you'll see, you can see what's wasting your time or stealing your time, as well as your effectiveness. So it is organized by urgent, which is how soon something must be done, or how soon it seems it must be done. And then on the left is by importance, is whether it's something is important, whether it contributes to your mission, your goals, your values. So let's talk about quadrant 1, urgent and important. This is the necessities, all of the crises that show up in our life, the emergency meetings, the unforeseen events that require our attention. We have to learn that quadrant 1, what do we do here? We have to manage these crises so that we don't get stuck in them. Quadrant 2 is important, but not urgent. It's all about us being effective. And it's so funny when I looked at that, I go, why would this be not urgent? Because it's really the most important thing, right? it's our dreams, it's our important goals, it's how we schedule our time and take the time to reflect, to be still, to build plans, to build our relationships, which is really what we do here, but it's also to schedule our time for fun. So this seems urgent to me, but again, we put it on the next, not urgent, because it's not a crisis. So let's next go to quadrant number 2. How do we do? Well, first on quadrant number 2, we protect it because we don't want to neglect it. We didn't neglect it and we neglect ourselves. Oops, little mute. So let's go to quadrant 3. Not important, but urgent. So these are distractions. These are the irrelevant meetings, the interruptions, the phone calls, the emails, the messages that come in all of the time. How many times in a day do I get distracted? It's kind of overwhelming and scary. So we want to limit and don't chase these activities. And now quadrant 4, what's not important and not urgent, which really says it all, right? These are all of the things that are our time wasters. It's all of the trivial work. It's the gossip, the internet, the TV, the social media. Our goal here is to skip it and don't default to these activities. So next is, I don't know why I can't get this to go forward. What am I doing wrong? Here it goes. Okay, so your homework tonight is, whoops, I'm still on the matrix. Can you still see it? I advance it and it's not advancing. I'm sorry. Our homework tonight is to do a self-check. So I want you to take a screenshot of this. And because these 4 questions will help you figure out where you are on the time matrix. Because if we don't know where we are, we can't get to where we want to go. And it's also the ability to plan and be more effective, because putting first things first is to have a plan. So number 1, which quadrant are you in? Then ask yourself, why are you stuck there, right? Why are you there? What are you getting from it? How long have you been there? And what return are you getting on this time? Our goal is a huge return on your investment by managing and putting first things first and getting clear with that quadrant and what you're in. But this is my favorite that he teaches. It's the jar of life. We all have so much space in our life and our day. And why is it important to understand what our big rocks are? And I didn't know about big rocks, but I love this. And there's a great video that he does. But our great big rocks are our biggest and highest priorities, our mission. But what do we do? Our little rocks are what are urgent, but not important. They're mostly negotiable. And then the sand are all the not important time wasters, which usually get our attention first. So what happens? We fill our jar with the sand and the pebbles, the little rocks that aren't important, but they fill up our day and they grab our time and attention. And by the time we go to our big rocks, there's not any room left in that jar. And what he teaches and the video shows is when we put our big rocks into the jar of our life first, which means you get your big audacious goals done first, you can then have room left in that jar for all of the other little rocks and sand that can fill it and go between those big rocks and the jar of your life. So this is about understanding really our big rocks. And habit number 3, Stephen Covey teaches that great leaders plan their week before the week begins. Who here, put a 1 in the chat, if you plan your week every night on Sunday night before your week begins. It's going to be my new plan. Because our plan is the steering wheel that lets you navigate the course, your course, day by day, adjusting for winds and waves, which are the urgent distractions that pull us off course, so you don't drift from your mission. It is the daily schedule and the choices we make every moment that keep you moving toward your true north. So this habit is, first of all, plan your week in advance, execute against that plan, and then plan, do, and review to see where you got off track, because we do, and how you're going to course correct for next week. Here we go. I love this. This planner is in our book, and I love it because it really, for me, helped me see what my big rocks are, to write these rocks down so that I know that I'm going to do these things first before I spend time on the things that waste my life and keep me from my mission. So first of all, sharpen the saw is our big rock because it's all about how we take care of our body every day. Do we need to take time for our body every day? What about how we train our mind and build our skills and our leadership, but also our heart, how we care for ourselves and for each other and our spirit. So sharpening the saw is taking care of you first, which is so important and so much a part now of my schedule and my day. But our mission is really, I added this because our mission is we're all here. We're all in LifeVantage. And what is our job? How many people have been here for more than 10 years or 5 years or 15 years, right? And what is our job? Our mission is to help people learn, right? That's all we do. Hi, Marissa, great to see you. We help people learn. So are you inviting someone every single day to come learn? That's a big rock. What would it look like every day if you invited one person to learn at the end of 30 days? That's 30 new invites in your business. What if you followed up with one person a day? 30 new follow-ups in your business, right? Moving someone forward on this journey. And what about your team? So our mission, I want to just take a moment and talk about this because LifeVantage has brought us there because they need us to put these principles in practice to take this company from where we are to into momentum and growth and to on our way to 300 million and 400 million and a billion. So why is this important to me? Because I was here at the beginning. I was here when LifeVantage was a $3 million company. And we actually, when I found out about LifeVantage, the product was still sitting at GNC. And for the first year, we were building our business at the same time it was still sitting at GNC because we needed to have as many sales as we could get. It was once we got this company to 11.5 million and break even at the end of that first year, that product was pulled from retail and we became its sole voice. And that's what we do. And I was there here as we grew that first year, 3 million to 11.5 million. I didn't understand marketing, network marketing. I talked all the time. I didn't understand the simple system until I finally went to a meeting and met Tyler Daniels. And he told me, whatever you do, anyone must be able to do without knowing anything. And your job is to invite to a tool, which we all know, let someone else answer their questions, and then help them move forward. And doing that changed my life, but he also taught me to teach the whole story. And right now, more than ever, people are looking for, praying for answers for their health, but they're also, this is like 2009 where we are right now. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world. People are praying for a path or a plan or some security around their financials. And that's the gift that we have. And that's why if we're not doing it every day, how are we repaying that gift? Because when we started to go tell the whole story in 2010, we went from 11.5 million to 38 million to 100 million to 200 million. We are at 225 million. We are 75 million away from hitting 300 million. And literally, when we get into growth and momentum, everybody will join this company. Everybody knows who we are, how great our products are, how we have everything in place. So it's really the opportunity to go take massive action right now. And that's why they brought us together. And that's why you're here on this call to help you schedule those big rocks. Make a commitment every month, every week, every day to invite at least one person to learn about this company. We are not here to sell something. We're here to save people from health problems they have or a life where they have no purpose, no mission, no passion and purpose. So that's really why I love this, because every day I started scheduling my invites, doing my mission first. And all of a sudden, I'm inviting more people because I don't stop with one. I'm taking the actions that usually I get to at the end of the day. So putting your big rocks first has really, for me, changed my life. And I hope it will change the way that you live your life. So sorry, I think I'm on the next one and it doesn't advance. So why does this matter for you and your business? So without the habit of a plan, putting first things first, it is easy to react to our emails, our texts, all of the other priorities, things that come in our way. It's also all of the important things that get neglected because our business becomes a hamster wheel. We're spinning and spinning and spinning without a plan. And I am so done with spinning without a plan. With this habit, I've learned to focus on high valued activities, my big rocks, and really do them first, not wait till the end of the day, not procrastinate because I'm afraid what somebody's going to think. Why do we do that? We're here to help people and to save their life. And so, anyway, it's getting through all of those obstacles in our head and asking yourself why you don't do it every day. Because there are 18 million people on the planet over 18. All of them have oxidative stress. I think there's a lot of people in our community that we can reach out to with our heart and say, please come learn, watch a video and get your questions answered. Focus on our high valued activities, take consistent action so that you make progress towards your goals, have better boundaries, less burnout, and more importantly, when we lead with priority, which is what this is about. We've got a vision, we've got a plan, but we prioritize our big rocks first. It moves our life forward with purpose, and it allows us to live our mission. And our mission in LifeVantage is to change lives. And I just want to say, I don't know any company in the world that would pay you, and coming from the corporate world, been paid month over month, year over year for 16 years on products that people learned about or a business that people learned about 16 years ago and still buy that product every month. Will anybody here ever stop taking Protandim? Never, right? We all feel that way. And what about that check that they pay us month over month? To be paid like that is ridiculous. And that's why we are in the right place at the right time. But we are the hearts and we are the leaders to take this mission of LifeVantage, to take this gift that they've given us, which is really to just help someone learn. It is not hard. And if they say no, they didn't say no to us. They said no to the chance to learn something new. Right? And that's why the follow-up is so important. So lead with priority. Our priority is to help lives move with purpose, live our mission. So choose it every day. Choose you, choose your big rocks, do them first, and live it so that we can be it and change lives all over the world. So here's where we are. I'm going to continue that we can continue this conversation in the Leaders Edge group, but habit number 3 is all about time management, understanding where you spend your time, planning your week in advance so that you slay that week. So here's the to-do for the week. Plan your week. The key isn't to prioritize what's on your schedule. It's to schedule your priorities. Before the night ends, tonight, I'm going to call each of you to action to map out your week around what matters most. Identify your big rocks. This is the thing that was so important for me because that's what highly effective leaders do. But most importantly, it will move you forward on your mission to change lives and to be an executive in this company. We need a lot of more executives in this company. And I know that you're here on this call because you see the opportunity and now it's the opportunity for you to seize it. So thank you for being here. I am so excited and I'm just going to build to next week. That next week, Becky Taylor, who opened this call, is going to teach next week on habit number 4, which is win-win. Because when we put these first 3 habits together, we have the skills, the vision, the why, and all of the tools, the habits to help us win-win. And I can't wait to hear you speak next week and teach on this one, Becky. And thank you all for being here tonight.